Sorry for troubling you. Why are we saying it that it's contracting, ma'am, when everything is expanding?
Everything is not expanding, only our lungs are expanding because the air is going to. Yes, thank you, Madhu ma'am. Um, Thank you for starting the recording. Yes. So only the lungs are expanding when we are inhaling or putting the air in. But as the lungs are expanding, so surrounding muscles of lungs are contracting. They are not expanding. How can they will expand with the pressure from inside? Imagine that you are in a room, not room. Imagine that you are in a leather ball. So you are putting pressure from inside. So the muscles means the leather will contract from inside, right? The portion where you are putting pressure, that portion will contract. Means the surrounding muscles of lungs are contracting because the inside force is more, and they will relax when we are expiring, when we are exhaling. At that time they are getting proper place to expand. Means you got the concept of diaphragm muscle, but you are not getting the concept of other muscles, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, yes.
So how diaphragm muscle is contracting, the same way other muscles are also contracting.
Okay, ma'am. Okay.
So let me share the screen. You will get it. I hope so. Here. Not here. Here. Here you can see that in the left side, the inhalation has been taken place. That is why lungs are expanding. Okay. And due to lungs are expanding, see the picture. As lungs are expanding, there is a small gap between lungs and our outer body. See the gap between the lungs and our outer body. But here, see the gap between lungs and outer body when we are expiring. So, what happening? The surrounding muscles of lungs is getting contracted when we are inhaling.
Inhaling.
Okay, and the surrounding muscles of lungs are getting expanded in exhaling. See the gap between here, see the gap between here and here. Because muscles are expanded, but the muscles here are contracted. That is why the space is less in here when we are inhaling, but the space is more in here when we are exhaling. The
Ma'am, we can't hear you.
You cannot hear me right now?
Right now you're audible, but before it was no.
Okay. So let us start the class for today. We will start today from control of respiration. As we've completed the inspiration and expiration in last class. So, effective control of respiration is normally involuntary. Okay, means throughout the day we do not have any control. Means we lose our control because we do not take attention to our breathing. The moment we are taking attention towards our breathing, that moment our breathing is voluntary. But throughout the day, we do not pay attention to the breathing. That is why it is normally involuntary. So, what controls our breathing? Our whole body is getting controlled by nervous system. So, breathing will be also controlled by nervous system only. So, three respiratory control centers are inspiration center located on medulla oblongata, expiratory center located in medulla oblongata, pneumotoxic center located on pons. And chemical controls, I think we have also did this slide in last class. Okay, just
Yeah.
repeat once again. So what are the chemical controls? Two chemosensitive bodies. Those are carotid body at the base of carotid sinus, and aortic body at the base of aorta. You can see in this picture that, yes, at the top of the carotid arteries, carotid sinus is present. These arteries are the which are going um, through neck and reaching our brain. These carotid arteries supply oxygen related blood to brain. So at the base of this carotid sinus, uh, these receptors are present which are controlling our respiratory functions. And at the base of aorta, here you can see at the base of aorta, where aorta is releasing, at that base some signals are also getting produced by heart, means by our central nervous system only, but it is located in heart. So these stimulations are controlling our respiratory system. So carotid body and aortic bodies are more sensitive to CO2. CO2 increases stimulation of carotid and aortic body to stimulate expiratory muscles. More of CO2 get exhaled. Okay. So next is capacities and volumes of air in lungs. Now pay your attention here. It is a bit, you need to pay attention here a bit more. Now we are going to learn tidal volume. What is tidal volume? The amount of air inhale or exhale with each breath under resting conditions. Means now we are resting. Now we are in a resting state. We are sitting somewhere. So now the amount of air we are inhaling or exhaling with each breath under resting condition Okay. In a single breath, the amount of air we are inhaling or exhaling, that is tidal volume. And what is the amount now? Approximately, the amount is 500 milliliter, 500 ml. Next is inspiratory reserve volume, amount of air that can be forcefully inhaled after a normal tidal volume inhalation. That is 2000 to 3000 ml. Means 2000 ml means 2 liter. So 2 to 3 liter is inspiratory reserve volume. And what is inspiratory reserve volume? The amount of air that can be forcefully inhaled after after our normal tidal volume. So just see that what is the amount of air we are inhaling when we are paying attention to breathing. When we are inhaling forcefully, what is the amount? See that this is 2 to 3 liter. It is going to means it is increasing to 5 to 6 times of our tidal volume. So when we are inhaling forcefully, when we are inhaling voluntarily, deep and long breathing, at that time we are inhaling to 4 to 6 times more than what we are inhaling in a normal position. I hope you got the inspiratory reserve volume. Means what the amount we are breathing right now is the tidal volume. But the amount of breathing we are doing when we are paying attention, when we are forcefully breathing in, at that time it is getting 4 to 6 times more, that is 2 to 3 liters. The amount of air that can be forcefully inhaled after normal tidal volume. That is inspiratory reserve volume. Okay. Next is inspiratory capacity. The amount of air that can be inspired with maximum effort. So that will be what if the normal breathing or the involuntary breathing is 500 ml, and when we are inhaling forcefully, the extra amount of air, that is 2 to 3 liter or 2000 to 3000 ml, so the inspiratory capacity, so the lung capacity is the addition of both. Inspiratory reserve volume is the extra which we are inhaling during deep breathing, right? So that extra plus normal, that is 500 ml, is the total inspiratory capacity. So that is 2500 ml to 3500 ml, or 2.5 to 3.5 liters. Is it clear? All three concepts?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, expiratory reserve volume. What is expiratory reserve volume? The amount of air that can be forcefully exhaled after normal tidal volume exhalation. So, when we are exhaling forcefully, the extra amount of air we are exhaling, that is 1000 to 1500 ml. Average is 1100 ml. Okay, so that is known as expiratory reserve volume. The amount of air inhaling extra, that is inspiratory reserve volume, and the amount of air exhaling extra, that is expiratory reserve volume. So inspiratory reserve volume is 2 to 3 liter, and expiratory reserve volume is 1 to 1.5 liter. and generally it is 1.1 liter, right? And residual volume. Residual volume is amount of air remaining in the lungs after a forced exhalation. Okay. So residual volume is when we are exhaling forcefully. After that, some amount of air also remains in the lungs. So it is necessary to remain some amount of air in the lungs, otherwise the lungs will collapse. Okay. So the residual volume is the amount of air remaining in the lungs after forced exhalation. That
So
is,
what's happening in Bahya Kumbhaka, ma'am?
yes, please
The lungs
repeat.
still hold that. What happens in Bahya Kumbhaka, ma'am? Still the lungs do hold this whatever 1500 ml minimum.
Yes, obviously. Otherwise, the lungs will collapse. What we are doing in Kumbhak, we are closing the door of inspiration and expiration. Okay. We are in Kumbhak, we are just closing the door. No air can go inside or outside. No air come inside from outside, and no air can go from it out inside to outside. Sorry, I have told the opposite. No air can come in from outside to inside, and no air can go from inside to outside. That is Kumbhaka. And two types of Kumbhaka: when we are inhaling and then we are closing the door, that we are filled with air and closing the door, that is anta kumbhaka. And when we are evacuating the air as per our uh, capacity and then closing the door, that is bahya kumbhaka. But the amount of air which is always there in the lungs will be also present during bahya kumbhaka, because without that air, lungs will collapse. Okay, clear?
Yes, ma'am. But I have one more doubt, ma'am.
Yes, please.
So in the inhalation, they said our basic tidal volume is 500, but in exhalation, has it not been explained, ma'am, what is our minimum exhalation? Means this is after the the ratio that you have mentioned, 1000 to 1500, is after forceful exhalation, no, ma'am. Otherwise, how much do we exhale? Any idea?
So you get confused.
Yeah, I'm getting
Okay,
confused, ma'am.
so what happening? You are getting confused with this tidal volume, right? See
Yes,
the
ma'am. So when we say our minimum inhalation in the relaxed position is 500, how much is it? How much is the exhalation, ma'am? I am just confused about that.
read the line and what I have told you. It's not only exhalation; it is inhalation or exhalation.
Oh, got it,
In,
ma'am. And now I got
inhalation
it.
or exhalation. It is same for inhalation and exhalation both. 500 ml.
Okay, okay, okay. Sorry for that.
Yeah, I got you. Okay. So any more doubt?
Yeah, after you explain this part also, if there is a doubt, I'll ask, ma'am.
So let me repeat the whole concept, otherwise you all will get confused once again. So what is the normal breathing? We are taking in and out, that is only 500 ml. We are taking 500 ml in and breathing out 500 ml in normal position, in resting position, particular. Then if we are inhaling deep and long, at that time the extra amount of air we are inhaling after 500 ml, that is 2 to 3 liter. And so the inspiratory capacity will be obviously tidal volume plus IRV. inspiratory reserve volume. So that is 500 plus 2 to 3 liter. So it is 2.5 to 3.5 liter. Next, the expiratory reserve volume, which is always there in the lung. Sorry, amount of air that can be forcefully. This is amount of air that can be forcefully exhaled after normal tidal volume. Means this is the amount of air we are exhaling after normal tidal volume. Means when we are doing Kapalbhati, at that time we are forcefully exhaling the air. Or any time when we are doing pranayama, when we are trying to evacuate the air completely, we are trying to exhale completely. At that time, after that 500 ml, that tidal volume which you are exhaling normally, after that 500 ml, we are exhaling extra, that is 100 to 1500 ml. Sorry, 1000 to 1500 ml. That is 1.5 liter. 1 liter to 1.5 liter. That is expiratory reserve volume. Means this is the amount of air we are exhaling extra from tidal volume. Okay. And now residual volume. Residual volume is the amount of air remaining in lungs after forced exhalation. After forced exhalation, the amount of air which is always present in lungs. Okay. Which is always present in lungs. Otherwise, the lungs will collapse. That is 1.5 liter or 1500 ml. So now the vital capacity. What is the vital capacity? That is maximum amount of air that can be expired after minimum inspiratory effort. See the sentence here. Maximum amount of air that can be expired after minimum inspiratory effort. Sorry, after maximum inspiratory effort. Means vital capacity is when we are doing pranayam, breathing deep and long in and completely trying to completely exhale. When we are inhaling deep and long and that is the total, sorry, that is the vital capacity. So vital capacity is the amount of air that can be expired after minimum maximum expiration. Means we are inhaling deep and long and exhaling completely. That is vital capacity. And what is the amount of vital capacity? Obviously, it will be total, tidal volume, that is 500 ml, and IRV, that is inspiratory reserve volume, which was the extra amount of air we are inhaling after tidal volume, that is 2 to 3 liter, and then ERV, that is expiratory reserve volume. Expiratory reserve volume is 1000 to 1.5 ml or 1000 to 1500 ml, and it was average 1100 ml. So all these when getting added, that is almost 3.5 liter to 4.5 liter. Okay, have you got it?
Yes.
So next is lung capacity. Lung capacity will be the addition of all these. So lung capacity is tidal volume plus inspiratory reserve volume plus expiratory reserve volume plus this residual volume. So when we are adding all this, that is the total lung capacity. That lung can hold means almost 5 to 6 liters of air all total. Okay, now here you can see the graph. What we are inhaling in resting position, that is tidal volume, that is 500 ml. Then let me take the pencil. Yes, here you can see this is the tidal volume, inhaling, and we are exhaling. Okay, that is 500 ml. Next is, this is the normal tidal volume going on, and the next is, yes, this portion is inspiratory reserve volume. This portion, that is the amount of air which we are inhaling extra from tidal volume. So this portion is inspiratory reserve volume, and the amount of air which is we are exhaling extra after tidal volume, that is expiratory reserve volume. And the residual volume which is always present in lungs. Okay, this residual volume is always present in lungs. Either you are inhaling, exhaling, always this residual volume is present in lungs. And what was the amount of residual volume?
1500, ma'am.
Yes, very good. So residual volume is 1500, which is always present in lungs, otherwise lungs will collapse. So when
Ma'am, I
we
have
are,
a doubt here, ma'am. Maybe it is silly, but I'm not able to understand, so better I ask. So
no,
you
no,
in yoga we always say exhale should be longer. But I see here that 1100 is our maximum. 1500 we have the residual volume. So how do we say exhale should be longer than inhalation, ma'am?
this is the amount of air. This is the not mechanism of body. This is the amount of air. These are the numbers. But what we are telling in yoga, that exhalation should be longer, that we are controlling or trying to control the mechanism, because we believe in intoxication more than acquiring something more for our body. That is why intoxication or cleansing process is preferred in Hatha Yoga at first. Before practicing anything, intoxication or cleansing or Sat Kriya is preferred at first without doing any asana, pranayam, meditation, anything. At first you need to cleanse your body, you need to detoxify your body. So exhalation is the process of detoxification only, right? That is why I hope so there may be any more science which are trying to which are being tried to convey by our yogic text being depicted, or Rishi Muni is trying to convey. Maybe something more science is there, but what I have got it, it's like that, and the exhalation is the type of detoxification only. So you need to detoxify your body. You need to control your body through inhalation and exhalation. So when we are trying to exhale more and more, we are detoxifying our body. Right. So
Okay.
the amount of air which is getting released during exhalation, it is that amount. It's not like that. The amount is less, so the longer means it's just like this. In shorter in shorter time, we can inhale more, but we cannot exhale the same at that time period. It's our normal body function. In the same amount of time, the amount of air going in is more than the amount of air coming out. It's the normal body function. You cannot do anything with that, but you can control the way you are breathing. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So what we are trying to understand through this graph, tidal volume, this which is tidal volume, and residual volume, and the amount of which can be inhaled during resting time and inhaled more and exhaled more during our voluntary respiration. The whole amount is known as vital capacity, means the amount of air which can be forcefully inhaled or forcefully exhaled. That amount is known as vital capacity. And the total lung capacity, the total lung capacity, the amount of air can be holded by lungs. That is the total amount. Collection of all these, addition of all these is the total lung capacity. So that is almost 5 to 6 liters. Okay. Next is gaseous exchange. Oh, it's 8:03. So should we conclude the class or we should go on?
Ma'am, we can stop here.
Okay. Nothing more is there. But, okay, no problem. We'll do it tomorrow. Mm,
Actually, ma'am's voice broke for the last section. Did it happen for others also, or was it me only?
Yes, ma'am. It's happened for us also.
which portion?
The last one, your vital capacity, which you were explaining, ma'am, we couldn't hear anything. Maybe tomorrow you can revise once, ma'am, that portion, vital capacity.
Okay. So we will get it tomorrow also. The thing is, vital capacity is the amount of air we are inhaling extra and the amount of air we are exhaling extra with tidal volume. That is vital capacity. Means
Uh,
if we are excluding the residual volume from total lung capacity, that is the vital capacity.
we have to deduct the residual volume, ma'am.
Yes.
That becomes okay, ma'am. Okay.
That is total vital capacity. And total lung capacity is addition of all the numbers.
Okay,
Okay.
ma'am. Okay. Okay.
Yes. So, any more doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So, let's bind up the class with prayer. Sit comfortably, close your eyes. Now, Feel the tidal volume here. You are not exhaling or inhaling forcefully. Feel the tidal volume. You are inhaling normally and exhaling normally. That is 500 ml. Now, inhale deep and long. That is inspiratory reserve volume after tidal volume. That is 2 to 3 liter. Inhale deep and long. Now exhale completely. Try to exhale fully. That is expiratory reserve volume, which is the amount of air extra from tidal volume. So that one was almost 1100 ml. Now once again, inhale deep and long. Inhale 4 to 6 times more than the normal breathing. Exhale, completely evacuate your lungs without residual volume, because residual volume will always be there in your lungs, which is 1500 ml. Once again, inhale deep and long and exhale completely. Now, once more inhale deep and long. This time fill the total lung capacity. Total lung capacity is the addition of all the numbers. That is, your lung is filled in right now with 5 to 6 liters of air. And exhale completely. Don't exhale the residual volume or you can't. Okay, now adopt Namaskar Mudra in front of your chest and repeat the prayer with inhalation. सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामया सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः. Now rub your palms. Put those palms on your facial muscles. Feel the warmth. Feel the energy. And open your eyes with a smile. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.